What is going on, you guys? Lou back at it again with another video. So for today's video, we got some playoff news to talk about and other news. So a lot of people believe right now that Russell Westbrook should be traded, okay, including OKC staff supposedly. And what do I think of this? I think no, of course, I don't think you should definitely trade Russell Westbrook. Now, let me talk negative for a second about Russell Westbrook. I think Russell Westbrook, he is a leader of a team, but he's not a good leader, okay? He needs to learn to accept his team more than anything, all right? Him, Melo, and Paul George, they just don't mix that well together. They may be cool with each other. There's no real chemistry there. Now, the argument might be is that, yeah, Russell Westbrook's been playing with, Paul George not even a whole year. So that can definitely be something. But at the same time, the way Russell plays is that he wants everything on his shoulders, all right? He doesn't want to let anyone else take the responsibilities. And that's definitely something that I admire about his game. But it also is a negative because now when he has other stars around him, it creates a different type of energy to play with. And it just doesn't work out that well, especially when you have someone like Paul George. Now, I don't know why they would even want to trade Russ. Russ is probably the best point guard in the league right now. I would never want to trade Russ. At the end of the day, if you're the OKC and you feel like Russell Westbrook is a star, but he's not the guy to win you guys a championship, then I guess trade him. But what are you going to get for Russ, all right? Now, people would trade for Russ and give you a lot, but is it going to equal out to, Russ's value or what, Russ could give you? I don't know. Last season, Russell Westbrook carried, OKC to the playoffs at least. So OKC, what they need to do is stop rushing their process and start getting these players developing fast. Stop trying to rush to something that you don't need currently. You got Russell Westbrook signed for a long time, all right? You can make something out of that. Now, if they could re-sign Paul George, then that's an accomplishment for sure, all right? So, yeah, I don't know. All right, so other news is that Rodney Hood, he had refused to play in Game 4 and could face suspension. Now, there were 7 minutes and 38 seconds left in the game when Tyronn Lue tried to put Rodney Hood in the game for LeBron James, but he refused, all right? He was angry, and this is not a good look for Rodney Hood, all right? Obviously, Rodney Hood is not happy about his whole minute situation, that he doesn't want to be playing for a small amount of minutes. He wants way more playing time than what he's getting, so he's not going to take the small amounts that they do give him. But at the same time, he's tripping, all right? You're a player. If you can get any type of minutes, you take that because you know what? With the minutes you get, you prove yourself. And the fact that he's just like, I'm too good for that, it just makes him look kind of bad. I ain't gonna lie. It makes him look really bad. And it's not a good look, all right? That's all I got to say. So I know most people have kind of heard about this whole Hassan Whiteside situation and how most likely the Heat are going to trade him. A lot of people are debating what team he should go to or what team would trade for him. But the problem with Hassan Whiteside's contract is it's a big contract, all right? It's a lot to commit to for a team, especially if he's not even coming off of a better season, all right? So it's not a good look for him. But these are a couple of the options that whoever made this picture put on here. So they got the Cavaliers, the Bucks, the Nuggets, the Knicks, the Spurs, the Lakers, and Portland. Honestly, the best option I like there is the Cavaliers, all right? If the Cavaliers have the money to be able to afford Hassan Whiteside and have Hassan Whiteside, Kevin Love, and LeBron James, that's not a bad mix, all right? Hassan Whiteside is a perfect center for what they need. They need a shot blocker, a defender in the paint, somebody that is a threat, all right? Kevin Love, sometimes he gets exposed at that center position, honestly, can't lie. With their next upcoming matchup in Boston Celtics, most likely, it's not going to be that bad, all right? It's not going to be that bad for the one reason being that he will be kind of in a situation where they're going to be playing a smaller center as well, so it does match up well for them. So we'll see. But honestly, Hassan Whiteside, I think he should stay with the Heat potentially if the Heat are willing to, compromise with that and see what he could do because Hassan Whiteside has shown really good signs of being a good center. And I like Hassan Whiteside. It's just sometimes his attitude gets the best of him. And it's playing his part right now because him talking all that stuff about the Heat, talking about this and talking about that, it made a bad look and the Heat don't like that. Professionalism is always key. Remember that. Before this video ended, I wanted to make sure that all the games for today were over. So now we're talking about the playoffs and we have the official, I guess almost official, schedules for this conference finals. Now, honestly, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, all right? Now, my predictions were off at some points, but I was more or less right for the end, all right? Well, let me not jinx Boston quite yet, but, more or less no team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. So I think definitely Boston's going to make it to the next round. So we're going to have Rockets and Golden State in the West and Cleveland and Boston. Now, this is more or less what people thought was going to happen in the beginning of the season, but they never thought it was going to happen with Boston not having any stars in the playoffs. Let me make sure that's known, all right? But before we get to that point, let's talk about the second round, though, all right? Because there was some interesting things that did happen. This is honestly one of the weakest second rounds ever. There was not a lot of competitiveness. What do I blame that on? I think I blame it on a lot of overhype for some teams possibly, all right? The Jazz were a great team. Sadly, they just couldn't score at the end of the day. Rockets figured them out in some ways, and then defensively, they were great. They met one of the best scoring teams ever, all right? This team could score in all ways. So once the Rockets kind of got a feel for them, it was over after that, all right? And then as for the Pelicans, they're definitely undermatched for a team like Golden State, all right? Now, Boston versus Philly, as I told you guys before, Boston is a really experienced team at this point. They have a lot of good qualities to them, being well coached and having that great defense that they have. And a lot of their guys are just stepping up individually. Even in their third win that they had got, Al Horford had a horrible game. And Horford still stepped up at the end of the game, and everyone else was still doing great. For Philly, they're very unexperienced, and they have guys that just are not ready for this moment, I believe. Now, there's some guys that have been playing well for them, and they have shown signs. They're going to be a great team in the future, all right? But Boston, they're a team that's going to be on the rise very soon. Next season, we're probably going to see them most likely in the conference finals, possibly the finals again. Now, let's talk about the matchups that we have currently now, most likely for the conference finals. So like I said, we have Rockets and Golden State. Now, how do I think this is going to play out? I want it to go to 7 games, personally, as a fan of the NBA. I want that to be a 7-game series for sure. I want it to be competitive. But at the end of the day, Golden State has this certain lineup that they play that it seems to be their go-to when things are on the line, all right? That lineup where they throw Draymond Green at the center, and then they start Kevin Durant, Andre Iguodala, Klay, and Curry. That lineup is deadly. And if they play that lineup against Houston, they're going to get a lot of threes up. Now, that's the thing about Houston. They could throw up the threes as well. But Golden State has a way better defense, I believe, than Houston. So Houston is not going to be able to hold the amount of threes that I think Golden State can throw up. And there's just a lot of matchup issues that I believe. Kevin Durant is literally unguardable on the court. And James Harden defensively, he can easily get exposed. They could throw the best scorer that they can on Harden, and Harden is not going to be able to guard either one. So Harden's going to have a lot of matchup issues. Chris Paul, he's going to be able to hold whoever he holds, but he's not going to be able to hold him to the full ability.
Address another issue that Houston's going to have. They use and rely on their bench way more than Golden State does. So Golden State's bench is way more refreshed than Houston. So I think also the bench is going to be an issue. And they're going to have to definitely find a way to not let the bench score more than they actually should. Because then the bench can have a crucial role for Houston.
Now, you can say the same thing for Houston because they have the ability to have a James Harden or somebody like a Chris Paul who's now been able to show he could score in these playoffs. It's going to be interesting, all right? It's going to be a definitely interesting series, and I'm definitely excited for it. And I'm hoping that Rockets win, all right? I'm from Texas, so I want Rockets to win, but my prediction is going to have to go Golden State in this. Golden State is just, they're ready for this, all right? They ended second this season in the West. I think Golden State finished at this point because they were trying to basically be rested. They were ready for this moment, and I think that's going to show in this series a lot. They're going to be more rested, and it's going to be something where they actually have more energy than maybe Rockets do, where Rockets were proving themselves this season. The Rockets this year were going off, all right? And I think that's mainly because they were trying to prove something to everybody this season. And they did. They definitely proved that they're a great team, and next season, hopefully, they even show that even more. But I think Golden State at the end of the day is going to get that, all right? Golden State is going to prevail, and they're going to make it to the finals, I think, again. Now, that time is coming where Golden State and Cleveland are not going to be that team that you're going to see in the finals constantly, time and time again, all right? It's going to change, all right? And the Rockets and the Celtics and even the 76ers, for that matter, are small definitions that time is coming soon. Rockets are on the rise. Boston's on the rise. 76ers, they're up there, all right? And the next move is more or less on LeBron. Wherever LeBron goes, that could be a game changer for any team. So we'll see how that rocks, because I think if he stays at Cleveland, he's going to have issues. It's not going to be as great as he wants it to be unless he gets more over there. But I think he should stay, but he may go. Now let's talk about Boston and Cleveland possibly in this matchup. I don't even want to predict that Philly might be in the conference finals, because I just don't think it's going to happen. So that's why I'm going for straight Boston in this. Now, in their series, I think it's going to be I think it's going to be interesting, okay? Boston, I wonder how their matchups are going to work. How are they going to play defense on LeBron? How are they going to run it? Are they going to throw some Marcus Smart, some Jaylen Brown on there? Or even are they going to throw some of their other guys in there? I don't know how that's going to work, but I definitely want to see how we can do against a guy like LeBron, all right? Center-wise, I think it's going to be a good matchup for us because they're going to have somebody like Kevin Love at the 5. I wouldn't be surprised if they throw a great offensive rebounder like Tristan Thompson back at the 5 and throwing Kevin Love at the 4, because Kevin Love will have a stronger impact on the 4 with throwing Tristan Thompson at the 5, I believe. So that's something that I want to think about. But at the same time, Cleveland, they still got some guys, and I think I wouldn't be talking fair if I said Boston would win and go to the finals, because I don't know. That's something that I would love to happen, and I think this series is going to be an interesting series. I think this series can go to 6 to 7 games. But at the end of the day, I would more or less predict that Cleveland is going to have this advantage, and I think Cleveland is going to win this series. But I think Boston can put up an interesting fight. It's really on how Boston plays. I want to see the first game. Once I see the first game on how they do defensively, I would know kind of how the series is going to go. Once I saw the first game of Philly and how it went down, I was like, okay. When I saw the game that Philly played at home, I was like, oh, okay, so they're letting this happen. So when I saw that, I really saw that Boston was more ready for this moment, and they wanted it more. So I think at the end of the day, for Cleveland and Boston, it's really on who's going to want it more, because Boston has some real grinders on that team that are ready to go, and they're going to scrap. Jaylen Brown's going to be a matchup issue. I think Jason Tatum is going to be a matchup issue as well. They're going to be able to score. They're going to shoot threes. And Cleveland has not had that best of a defense this season, and I wonder how they're going to do against a team that's really been a better three-point shooting team this series for them, because they played here, Indiana. They're not bad at threes, but they're just not that level. Toronto, their threes have gotten better, but I think Boston is still the better three-point shooting team, in my opinion, personally. I don't know about stats and what that all looks like, but from what I can see from this playoff series so far and all these series in general, it seems like Boston has it a little bit better. They got some better shooters right now to be able to throw out there. Aaron Baines has been able to be a threat and be able to take the big man out of the paint as well, because he's been hitting some threes more than he's hit all season. So I think Boston is a matchup issue. Cleveland has LeBron, so that's the issue. Kevin Love has been playing great ever since they went to the second round. So if he keeps that same energy, it's going to be dangerous. So that's why I think this is going to be a great playoff series here. And the conference finals, hopefully it's better than the second round was. The second round wasn't bad, though. It had some really great games in there. But I just think this conference finals is going to be fire, pure fire. So tell me what you guys think down below in the comments. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more. I'm out.